Hi, my name is Mara Yinger. I am in cohort H. I live in the Mid-Atlantic region of the United States, and I teach high school to students in grades 9 through 12 at a semi-rural, semi-suburban area. I teach Algebra 2 Advanced and Calculus, and my problem of practice is that many students coming into my calculus class are no longer strong in their Algebra 2 skills. So they knew them when they were in Algebra 2, and they passed the course most times with an A or a high B, and all of a sudden they get into calculus and they can't remember how to solve rational equations or how to rationalize the denominator when there's a binomial involved. Things that are really important to being able to correctly complete calculus problems. So the purpose of my study is to investigate whether or not a iterative development of conceptual and procedural knowledge would be effective in helping Algebra 2 students with their mathematical understanding. The frameworks I'm looking at are the iterative theory of mathematical knowledge development, proposed by Riddle Johnson in 2001, and knowledge-based constructivism. And my current research questions, which they're definitely not perfect yet, but they're a work in progress. What is the effect of the iterative model on advanced Algebra 2 students' performance on solving rational equations? And how will the iterative model affect students' ability to apply conceptual knowledge and procedural flexibility to solve unfamiliar problems? I'm planning a mixed methods research study. I want to be able to collect quantitative data with a pretest and an assessment at the end of the study period. But also I want to be able to do some task-based interviews where I can hear student thinking to really collect some information about their procedural flexibility, which you'll notice is one of my key terms, and about their conceptual understanding behind a problem. So with the potential keywords, the iterative approach to developing conceptual and procedural understanding of mathematics, procedural knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural flexibility, and of course Algebra 2, because that's where I'm focusing my study. So that's kind of what makes my study unique to what's out there on the iterative development between conceptual and procedural knowledge, is the fact that it's taking place in an Algebra 2 course. There's a lot out there about elementary students with fractions. There's stuff even up through and including linear equations into pre-algebra and algebra. However, I have not found anything, and I'm not saying there isn't, but to the best of my researching ability so far, I have not found anything on rational equations, which is what I anticipate I will be covering during the time period where we're collecting research. So I'm excited to see how this iterative approach could potentially impact students' understanding of solving rational equations. The EDD program is well aligned to help me with this because calculus is kind of a gatekeeper to STEM fields. Students need to be able to pass it in college to continue in those majors. And having stronger algebra skills that they're retaining, that is going to set them up to be a lot more successful in calculus. A couple of sticking points. I'm struggling a little bit with my normed assessment. Dr. Guest really spent a lot of time with me last semester looking through to find a normed assessment that might work. My struggle is that I read through the other studies that have been done on this, and I can see examples of problems they used, and I love them, and I can totally see how they apply, or at least how similar problems could be created for Algebra 2 to test procedural versus conceptual. But because I would be creating the problems, then the results could be skewed. So trying to find a normed assessment that is truly assessing what my study is looking for is a little bit of a sticking point for me right now. But I'm going to get there. And then the other thing is that I've pretty much forgotten everything other than basic statistics from that course. So I'm very anxious to learn about the right analysis type and how I can use that to make this a better study, because writing my methods section in Chapter 1 was really, really difficult for me. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to working with all of you again, and I'm excited to hear what you're working on.